From 17 once again. This is my Metro Last Light Ranger Hardcore difficulty walkthrough. We're on chapter 15, this is Venice. This is another opportunity to interact with the ecology of the game and the awesome environments that they've mustered up for you. It's also an opportunity to get some karma points by doing things, play some instruments, buy some stuff, restock on your ammo, all the standard survival, post-apocalyptic future, dystopian raiders kind of things. So I'm not going to be doing too much in this area because this is meant to be a walkthrough, and my definition of a walkthrough is essentially somebody showing you how to destroy the game, how to get through it with the most ease and the swiftest path through it. So I don't generally do the side quests, I don't generally do the collectibles or unless I specify why I'm doing them, because for the most part the average gamer just wants to get through the game, nice and quickly, and perhaps maybe for achievements, perhaps so that he can move on to another game or move on to the multiplayer, something along those lines. So I try to appeal to the widest demographic, and a lot of people don't really understand that the wider demographic is not them, and a lot of people are extremely immature and naive in their perspective towards gaming in general and difficulty, because I suppose it's one of those things where when you're young you don't really think about things from a different perspective. You don't really analyse them from a place of objectivity or even from the counter-argument. And a lot of people seem to think that because they think one way, everybody thinks the same way. And if you don't know a good example of this, I uploaded a video about Dark Souls with my girlfriend, and I was analysing it with her because she knows nothing about Dark Souls or the Honor Code or any of that stuff, and she's not a regular gamer. She's someone who enjoys games, but she wouldn't call herself a gamer. And I was explaining it to her in essentially the easiest way I could, which was to take it slow and steady. And there were people that completely just misread this and just showed how stupid that they were by saying, this game is easy to understand, you should have done it this way, when they have absolutely no idea because they're judging something based on their own experience, and their own experience is much higher than the average Joe person. And it's just really silly to look at it that way. And it's same with walkthroughs and guides. There is a small percentage of people who play these games on the hardest difficulty. I know this because statistics have proven that. You and your friends may play games on the harder difficulties and think they're easy and all that good stuff, but a large percentage do not. It's one of those things where hardly anybody is as good as you are at the game you are playing, because you aren't the large demographic of people who pick up a game for 20 minutes, put it down, and might not play it for months. You aren't that person. You're that person who beats games. You're that person who learns games and invests a lot more time in it because you have more of a passion for it. And those people are like 6% of the overall 100%. So they're the smallest minority of folk, even though there might be a lot of them in the grand scheme of everybody else. You are a tiny niche collective of people, and they don't seem to understand that. They seem to think that their attitude is permeating the entire community of people who play games, and this is just not true at all. There's a large percentage of people who would consider themselves quite avid gamers who will only play Farmville or phone games or things of that nature, free games, and they're not playing these games on the hardest difficulty. In fact, some of these games are effectively playing themselves. If you ever played those Facebook games where you're looking at statistics and spreadsheets and this will take 5 minutes to complete, and you just sat waiting and send these likes and all that kind of shit. They are games. I mean, you can argue their validity when it comes to gaming and that they're a disgrace and a sham, but they're still games, and the people playing them are still gamers. So there's just this disconnect from reality that some folk have, and it's one of those things that you only really notice when you can see both sides of the niche. I was at a wedding the other day talking with people, and the last thing on their mind, their last interests of some of these people was games. They'd not played a game since the Mega Drive, so their entire perspective and their appreciation of what a game is was completely skewed because their frame of reference is a game 20, 30 years old, depending on what was the Mega Drive, 90 something, 93, I can't quite remember. So it's a long time, and games nowadays are so different, and if these people saw them, it would just blow them away. They might not like it, but it's such a different thing to what it was. Yet a lot of people still have this preconceived notion of what a game is. Like, when you say game, people think board game or card game. They don't think game, you know, video game, computer game. It's really interesting. And I just implore people, because for the people who comment on my videos are all great. They've all put something forward, be it opinion, be it just to add to it, be it something, and they put it in a way that is fine. You know, they get the point out, they think about what they're saying, and they don't just dump a stupid comment. Like, some of them can dump stupid comments, but occasionally they're innocent, you know? Everybody does it. But then there's just those people who just don't get it. And it has to be youth. It has to be the arrogance of youth, you know, the bravado of really not having a fucking idea of how things really work and thinking you do. Like, and that's not to take away from their skill when it comes to playing that game. It's just, you know, not everybody knows that. Not everybody knows what you know. And, like, before you put that comment of, oh, everybody knows this, it's easy, it's like, it's so relative to your circle and to yourself that just try thinking outside of it for a change before you put these sweepingly ignorant comments that just, you know, waste everybody's time. But as you've just saw, this entire mission can be stealthed. Just watch your wristwatch, know how flexible the stealth system is, and use it to your advantage, and you shouldn't have any trouble. But from this moment onwards, I don't really think there's too much more left of the level, but Nikolai gets away because of this fucking idiot, and your gun is on, so it makes you think that you're going to be doing a lot of shooting. But as you'll notice, we're back in control, and I think the only thing left here is to get to the other exit that this guy is going to show us. And because this game is highly scripted, we have to wait for this guy to show it us. And he's doing a bit of talking right now, as you can see. But it's just that thing of, I don't think people think before they write stuff on the internet, and I think that's probably one of the main reasons why it's such a terrible place at times, and why some comments just really aggravate people and irk people, because if they really waited and looked at it, a lot of the time some comments aren't even needed. And we're all guilty of putting a comment in a place that it's not needed, but some of them are just, it's just so strange. And you could literally do a dissertation or a thesis just on, you know, these many pearls of wisdoms that human beings leave on these sites because they have a keyboard and the inclination to do so. It's kind of fascinating, really. It's a subculture unto itself. But now we've got a suit on, we can get outside and prepare to do the worst part of the game, and the part that I really don't like. But thank you for watching, folks, and as always, you take care now.